Good day to everyone. I am Bernie Benyahan and I'm going to discuss about investigation operation, especially to the topics under which are the conduct of crime scene investigation, maintenance of police blotter, and judicial affidavit rule. Uh, Before starting, let's discuss first if what is investigation operation. So, investigation operation is include investigation of crime or incident, scene of the crime operations, administrative investigation, and other investigative work necessary to determine facts and circumstances for filing cases criminally or administratively. So, under investigation operation, it includes conduct of crime scene investigation wherein it starts from the arrival of the PNP responders to the arrival of duty investigators or IOC and the so-called LS team until the lifting of the security cordon and release of the crime scene. Okay, let's move to the following function and responsibilities of the investigators during the CSI as well as the procedures to be observed. So, first is they will assess whether the situation still poses imminent danger and call for backup if it is necessary. Letter B. Immediately conduct a preliminary evaluation of the crime scene. This evaluation should include the scope of the incident, emergency services required, scene safety concern, administration of life-saving measures, and establishment of security and control of the scene. C is promptly inform the immediate commander on any updates of the situation. Letter D is save and preserve lives by giving the necessary first aid measures to the injured and their medical evacuation as necessary. They shall likewise secure and preserve the crime scene by cordoning off the area to prevent unauthorized entry of person. And then letter E, uh, take dying declaration or statement of severely injured persons. So this picture is a dying declaration form. So letter F is make the initial assessment on whether a crime has actually been committed and shall conduct a preliminary interview of of interest and witnesses to determine what and how the crime was committed. Letter G. Arrest the suspect if present in the area and turn over the crime scene to the duty investigator or IOC upon her arrival after he or she has been briefed of the situation. The FR shall prepare and submit the first responder's report to the IOC and assist him her until the investigation is completed and temporarily turned over to the local COP for the continuance of crime scene security. This picture is a first responders form. So, ang picture na ating nakikita ay ang mga larawan ng mga first responder na kung saan ay kasalukuyang kinokordon ang crime scene. So, to sum it up, responsibilidad ng mga first responder na i-assess ang sitwasyon ng crime scene at tumawag ng backup pag kinakailangan. At mag-inform din agad sa commander unit save and preserve life para sa mga taong involved sa crime na kailangan nila ang medical assistance, and then take the dying declaration or statement. Make initial assessment kung meron talagang nangyaring krimen, and they should conduct preliminary interviews sa mga witnesses at arestuhin ang suspect kung sakaling nasa crime area pa rin, at mag-turn over ng crime scene sa investigator on case. So, number 2 is investigator on case or IOC. So letter A thorough assessment of the crime scene based on the briefing of the FR. Letter B is assume full control and responsibility over the crime scene and conduct inquiry into the incident. If necessary, the IOC may extend the search outside of the crime scene. And letter C is a request sought assistance from the PNPCL office through the station TOC if required, and if not, he or she may proceed with the CSI, ensuring observance of the procedures in the collection and preservation of evidence and accomplishing CSI forms, including persons who entered the crime scene, significant persons present at the vicinity of the crime scene, evidence log, crime scene sketch, and inventory of evidence collected. So this picture is a form of person who entered in the crime scene. And this picture also is a form of significant person present at the vicinity of the crime scene. And also this picture is an evidence log. This picture is a form of crime scene sketch. And lastly, this picture is a form of inventory of evidence collected. And letter D, present a written request for the conduct of SOCO to the SOCO TL or the team leader. So the SOCO team shall not process the crime scene unless the request has been received, indicating that the concerned police unit shall remain and provide all the necessary security and report to the SOCO team during the whole process until after the crime scene is released. And letter E, brief the SOCO team leader upon their arrival at the crime scene and jointly conduct the preliminary crime scene survey. Letter F is they'll coordinate with the PNP legal service for the filing of appropriate motion for the release and disposition of submitted evidence after case is dismissed and the court prosecutor's office or terminated or resolved by the court. So ang larawan na ating nakita ay ang request for the conduct of SOCO. So ang responsibilidad naman ng investigator on case ay gumawa ng maiging pagsisiyasat ng crime scene, at siya rin ang may control at responsibilidad sa crime scene at pwedeng mag-conduct ng inquiry sa labas ng crime scene, to request SOCO assistance from the PNP, and to present the written request for the conduct of SOCO to the SOCO team leader. Number 3, SOCO. A. Respond only upon request through the Operation Center and after the IOC has already made by the proper assessment of the crime scene. The SOCO shall not join in any operations conducted by the local police or accompany to the FRs or the IOC in going to the crime scene. Letter B. Conduct SOCO upon receipt of the request form the concerned police unit. And then letter C. Turn over the crime scene to the IOC or COP for the security of the area in case the SOCO team is temporarily suspend the processing. The COP shall be preliminary responsible and accountable to the security on the crime scene and ensuring its integrity until the return of SOCO team and the conclusion of the CSI. Letter D is perform the final crime scene survey together with the IOC and thereafter provide the IOC the initial result of the crime scene processing and accomplish the inventory of evidence collected form and furnish the IOC of copies of the same before leaving the crime scene. So this picture is a form of inventory of evidence collected. So this picture is a picture of SOCO team who are collecting evidence in the crime scene. SOCO will only respond upon the request through the operations center to turn over the crime scene to the IOC in case the SOCO team temporarily suspend the processing, perform the initial or the final survey with the IOC, and lastly, accomplish the inventory of evidence collected form before leaving the crime scene. Number 4 is a legal officer. A. Make a determination from searching questions to the COP if the crime scene reported falls within the definition of sensational crime or serious election-related incident under the PNP MC 2013-004. Letter B. Go to the crime scene involving sensational crime and serious ERI and ensure the applicable laws, rules, and regulations during the CSI are observed. Letter C is provide the necessary legal assistance in the preparation of compliant affidavits and other pleadings that will be filed before the prosecutor's office.